right, so from now till the end of the year, every day is going to be pretty much the exact same process. I thought I went through this pretty clearly, but I'm going to go through it again so it's absolutely clear to everybody of what is expected in order to get credit for your daily work. So you come into class, at this point you should have your entire project mapped out. You have a minimum of one task that you're completing or plan to complete each day. If you have a task that is going to take more than one day, then you have broken up that task into subtasks. So you are completing at least a minimum of one task per day. And you need to log time for those tasks. And we only log time for tasks. We don't log time for deliverables, because a deliverable is not an action. It's a noun that's produced as a result of the time that we put in on our tasks. So I don't want to see any spent time for deliverables, only for tasks. So you come in, say, okay, today is the day that I'm going to start. I'm going to just use this task here as an example. So I'll click on this task, and you want to say, I'm on it. That means that you are now beginning this task. Now, if you are working with somebody else on a project, both of you need to have tasks that you're completing each day. So you should have twice as many tasks as somebody else who's working by themselves, and each of you are required to be completing independent tasks each day. So you can't have one person do the work for that day while the other person sits and watches and gets credit for it. So you'll know that you are accurately working on a task because right up here on the top of our screen here, it says that we have this little clock here. The clock is going, and it says I'm now working on this task right here, Large Community Room AutoCAD Design. And I'll tell you how long you've been working on the task, which I haven't been working on it in a minute yet, so nothing's showing up. So I'm going to work my task. You can even close out Redmine. Clock is always going to be ticking until you have completed that task. When the task is done, it's done. Now, even if you haven't completed the task, we're still going to put it's done in order to log our time. There is a pause button here, but the pause button is really more for very short-term pauses. So, for example, when I'm working on a project with a client and my phone rings, I'll hit pause before I answer the phone, take the call, and then unpause. So it's something I'm continuing. If it's a client project where I haven't finished the task, but I'm done for the day, or I'm going to leave for lunch, something like that, then I'll put it's done. And if my task is not actually done, I change the status from closed to still in progress, and I'll note how much of it I've actually done. So I thought I was going to finish all of it, but I only got about a third of it done. So I'll set my percentage here to 30%. Okay. If the task is truly done and I'm no longer going to work on it at all, I'm going to hit status, keep it closed, and set to 100 here. Now our hours here should automatically be calculated. If you have clocked in and out correctly, this should already be edited here for you. If you made a mistake, forgot to punch out or whatever, then you can go ahead and edit this, but just send me a little message letting me know why. You can just write under here why you had to manually override your clock. What I don't want people doing is not working at all and then going in and saying, oh yeah, I worked 2 hours today, and overriding this clock. So it'll flag me, let you know you overwrote it, but I just want to know why. So you could say, oh, I forgot to clock in, I forgot to clock out, and I'll mark you down a little bit for it, but still give you credit for putting in the time. Then lastly, what you want to do is hit choose file here, and everything, all tasks are working towards a deliverable, so your deliverable isn't necessarily complete by the completion of your task, but there should be progress. So if you're working on, say, building a CAD file or Illustrator file, or compiling a research, getting research for photos of different products. What I want you to do is just upload something that's the deliverable that you're working on. So if it's a CAD file, you'll upload your CAD file, even though it's incomplete. I'll be able to see this CAD file, and that way I can look at yesterday's CAD file, I'll look at today's CAD file, and I can say, okay, that does look like an hour's worth of work. So especially if you've overridden your time that you spent, I'll be able to look at that and actually see, okay, yeah, that does look like an hour's worth of work, or not. So you'll just pick a file here and say, here's my file. I'll choose it, and it'll automatically upload it along here. And I just want you in the comments section here just to note what you did. So I'll say, added room dimensions with measurements. So you just have a little note of how you spent your time. So I'll stop you, the last 5 to 10 minutes of class. I'll give you a warning, and this is the information that I want you to log in. This is the only way you're going to get credit for each assignment that's going to be given from today till the end of class. It's just a repeating assignment with the exact same expectation every single day. Questions, comments, complaints? Yes. I guess I should say, any questions related to this lecture?
Nope.
Awesome.